Hello everybody! Welcome back to a new video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make your own Bfdi character. Most of my videos on my channel are not going to be like this, but I decided to do something different and make a tutorial on drawing in Paint 3D. So, you can always grab images from the wiki, but if you're thinking of doing the entire thing with just drawing, then I recommend using the line tool. If you're going Bfdi style, I recommend putting two limbs right there, not attached to each other yet, but right next to each other. Then do this half circle shape, well, more of a quarter circle shape, then put it under the legs. Do the same thing for the other foot. Now that you've finished with that, it is optional, but you can add ground. If the feet are flying, I'll show you how to fix that. And put the feet and lower them down onto the ground. Then you can retexture the ground so it's not cut off. And if you have this weird looking off bit from the leg, as you can see, I tried to fix it, but it's not working. So I'm going to click the undo button and fix this correctly. Normal fill-in tool or the line tool, I just use the normal fill-in tool to save time. Anyways, now you can fill these in. Just remember to color in the white spots when you're done. Repeat the cycle for a second time. Now that the feet are done, we'll get to the ground later. We should start with the body. Now, if we're going for the OBS logo, which is what I'm going to do, we're going to search up a reference picture. See, we have this picture of the OBS logo. Great. Now we have the reference image. Oops, let me just bring that back. Now we can start with our reference. It looks like it's a circle. By the way, the OBS logo isn't the only drawing you have to do for the Bfdi style. Really, the body just depends on what image you're doing. I'm going for an OBS logo, but you can make a notebook. You can really make any item as long as it's appropriate to the Bfdi style. Now we can see we've got most of the reference image done. You can go ahead, fill in this middle part. Let's look at the reference picture again, and looks like we need to work on the shading before we get to anything else. So, let's go ahead, change the hue of the shading just by a little bit to make sure this looks good. This part of the shading is done. Now we can look back at the reference image. Alright, let's draw the spike at the bottom. By the way, if your drawing doesn't look like mine, it's totally fine. Practice makes perfect. You can see we just finished with that part of the drawing, the bottom spike. Now we can make the spike on the side. And then the spike on the other side. Now that we finished these, we can color it in, and then make it a different color because there's already white in this image. Then we can add some shading. Oh, looks like I forgot my own step. What you want to make sure is that the thickness and the opacity are fine for your image. You also want to make sure the hue of the image is a bit different than the actual color, so the shading looks a bit better and it doesn't look croppy and bad. Now we can start taking away at the extra bits at the end. Now this normally would be taken away by adding a mask feature and adding, well, a layer feature, but Paint 3D doesn't have those features, so we'll just have to deal with this for now. Now that we're done with that part, aka the body, we can start by adding the hands. Now, with BFDI hands, they're usually just a stick and, well, a circle at the end. It can go a bit more detailed. As you can see, I added an extra limb, aka a stick, to make it look a bit more energetic and alive. For this hand, I tried it too, but when I did it, it didn't look exactly that great. So I just kept it normal. I'm trying to go for this style where he's waving at the player, but really, you can do it in any direction you want. You're doing a dance, a certain pose you like, or just standing still. Now, onto the eyes. You can draw them, or you can use the circle tool. I recommend using the circle tool. I'll show you the difference between the circle tool and the drawing tool. Here's usually what players who use the drawing tool's image looks like. Watch this. You can see it's not horrible, but it could be better. So let's go ahead and get rid of these eyes. Let's use the circles tool instead. Now you want to go to 2D shapes again and select the circle. We'll make 2 ovals on both sides of the face. In the BFDI style, these 2 eyes are mainly close together. Now I'm going to make my character wink. BFDI eyes can be a bit more detailed. Also, BFDI characters' eyes usually don't have pupils. I mean, you can add pupils if you would like, but really the style doesn't use pupils that much. So it's not much of a big deal. Anyways, you can make BFDI eyes a bit more detailed, like I was saying earlier. You can make them look like this, for instance. But since I'm going for a basic wink, I'm going to get rid of those 2 lines. Now, usually we could do the winking animation a bit better, but since this is just an example, we'll keep it like this for now. Now, on to, well, of course, the mouth. Most BFDI people make the mouths like this. But that's not exactly that true to the show, as mainly in the show, I recommend using the drawing marker tool for this. They make it like this, almost a full mouth, but as you can see, it stops almost at the end of the mouth. Now, the eyebrows. For some reason, BFDI characters don't usually have 2 eyebrows. Again, kind of like the pupils, it doesn't really matter, but I just like adding 1 eyebrow as aesthetic choices. Now, onto the ground. If you chose this optional example, aka ground, then you can kind of detail it. I'm not going to add shading to it as it is just an example. Now, you can leave it as it is, Or you can go down here or wherever you want on the canvas and write the name of your character. Mine is OBS. You can write the name of it using the marker tool or the brush tool, or you can use the text tool. I went with the text tool for this example. There we have it, our BFDI full character. I hope you enjoyed this video, because this took me a while to think of. This is my first ever video, so make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and maybe share the video if you would like. So see ya!